leader of the APC, we welcome you. Excellencies, speakers and deputy speakers of state houses of assembly here present, honorable members from various states of the Federation here seated, we welcome you. We welcome members of the Federal Executive Council, and we are aware that we have been sent a very top-ranking member of the Ministry of Women Affairs to represent the Minister of Women Affairs, other members of the Federal Executive Council here present, lead officers, management of the National Assembly, the Chief of Staff to the Right Honorable Speaker, heads of government and extra-ministerial departments, speakers, moderators who are here present, members of the diplomatic corps, and I put on the table the British High Commission, who is represented the European Union, United Kingdom International Development, and the leadership of PLAC. Please give them a round of applause. And other members of the National Assembly here present. Political party representative, national speakers of women's parliament in parties, women and youth leadership, faith leaders, members of the civil society, members of the media, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is an incredible honor to be among the top minds of the House of Representatives today as the National Assembly Open Week, at the House of Representatives Open Week, ACA, the People's House Open Week 2025 commences. I'm doubly delighted to read and feel the strides and achievements of the House of Representatives. A truly inspiring theme is what we have for this year's Open Week, which is the second anniversary, deepening citizens' trust and participation, celebrating our journey as the People's House. The work of the House of Representatives is inclusive and detailed, responsible for lawmaking, representation, and oversight. They remain in the forefront of peace, order, and good governance within the Federation. Today, under the leadership of the Right Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, His Excellency Tajuddin Abbas, and his entire team, the House of Representatives is turning a new leaf of progress. This Open Week is designed to foster an open parliament and promote citizens' engagement in the legislative and governance program. This 2025 edition is concerned and convened under the banner of transparency, inclusion, and accountability, all core pillars of democratic governance. A key highlight of this year's edition is the National Summit on Agriculture and Food Security, organized by the House Committee on Nutrition and Food Security, a truly historic effort. What is not to admire in the House of Representatives as it stands today? Since the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly in 2023, they have considered 2,263 bills, of which 65.3% have passed second reading, and a total of 339 have passed third reading. An unprecedented number, the highest of any National Assembly or House of Representatives since 1999 in the same time frame. The House has passed 186 bills, and 51 have been signed into law by Mr. President. Available data shows that this marks the highest presidential assent to bills by any president in his first 2 years. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I didn't hear the clapping. So what is not to admire in the House of Representatives under its leadership so far? Is it the reforms? Is it the inclusion of young and youth voices? Is it the support for security reforms? Is it the support for economic growth, the social sector, and the health sector? I could go on, but today is a day of engagement, and I would let those who have the responsibility, authority, and information do the needful. Please help me welcome Right Honorable Kingsley Chinda, who is coming as minority leader to come and deliver his opening welcome address.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, very, very ably represented by our own Honorable Kafila Tobara, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dr. Tajuddin Abbas, very well too represented by our own leader, the leader of the House, Professor Julius. Let me adopt as mine the copious and elaborate protocol that our sister Eugenia has established. So let me just say good morning and welcome. I'm supposed to anchor this section with our brother, Dr. Clement Wankwo. I'm sure you're here. Both of us are given this assignment, and we are doing it jointly. Before I go into this remark, I will, as usual, take us on a little and short excursion to my experience. One of my trips home to Port Harcourt, while on board the flight, everybody, almost everybody in that plane, were attacking the National Assembly, one way or the other. Not complimentary remarks, very, very uncomplimentary remarks. So much so that if I had the opportunity, I would have disembarked that flight. I just sat quietly. We continued. And we were being referred to as members of House of Representatives, that they are the problem with this country. They have run the place aground and all that. When the plane landed and I was leaving the flight, somebody now greeted me, one of perhaps my constituents who recognized me. Honorable. I completely ignored him. I pretended as if he was not talking to me. So when we came out and he met me, Honorable, I was greeting you. I then asked him, I said, don't you know my name? Is my name Honorable? I was avoiding the repercussion. Just to say that this is the most unsung arm of government. When we come in, nobody bothers about welfare of this arm. People keep talking about the House of the National Assembly being the highest paid parliament in the whole world. People also protest. Immediately you talk about utility vehicle for members. Nobody bothers to know where you live. As a parliamentarian, you are sent from your constituency to Abuja. Some of us are coming to Abuja for the first time. You are thrown out there, no accommodation, nobody bothers. And the reason for all this is not far-fetched. People are not properly informed. People do not know what is happening in here. People do not know what we pass through. People don't appreciate what our assignments, roles, and functions are. And that underscores the need for this openness. And that's why the 10th Assembly decided that we need to open up the National Assembly a little bit more to those who elected us so that they will understand better, and then we can sleep with our two eyes closed. So we are very happy that you are here with us, and we pray that as we leave this hall, next time when I fly, I will not be besieged with that kind of sin. Having said so, let me say that it gives me very great honor and pleasure to welcome you to this important gathering, the House of Representatives Open Week, which marks the second anniversary of the 10th House of Representatives. This moment is not just ceremonial. This moment is deeply symbolic. It satisfies a milestone in our diplomatic journey. Thank you. Can we have some quiet, please? Thank you. The moment is deeply symbolic. It signifies a milestone in our democratic journey. It's a moment of reflection, a moment of accountability, and renewed commitment to the values that underpin our legislative responsibilities. Let me also say that if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. And so at the commencement, we set out for ourselves a clear vision and a clear purpose of what we intend to achieve. So when the 10th Assembly was inaugurated in June 2023, we set for ourselves an ambitious but necessary 8-point legislative agenda. Thanks to PLAC and all those who worked with us on this agenda. This agenda was not designed in a vacuum. It was shaped by the urgent aspiration of Nigerians for a more just, secure, inclusive, and prosperous nation. In the agenda, our priorities include strengthening good governance through judicial and law reforms, promoting respect for the rule of law and fundamental human rights, enhancing national security through responsive legislation and oversights, driving constitutional and electoral reform to build trust in our democracy, supporting economic growth and social sector transformation, and expanding inclusive representation, particularly for women and some other disadvantaged groups. This Open Week is an opportunity to examine how far we have come, identify areas where more work is needed, and most importantly, engage with the Nigerian people, who are our masters and leaders, whose mandate we hold and to whom we will remain accountable. The crux of my assignment, or our assignment, is to discuss the purpose of this Open Week. Clearly, the Open Week is a window into the workings of the House. It's a week of openness, a week of dialogue, and a week of interaction between legislators and the public, our masters. The week is designed to promote transparency and accountability in legislative business. The week offers citizens and stakeholders an opportunity to ask questions, offer feedback, and co-create policy ideas with their parliamentarians. The week will also strengthen the bond between lawmakers and those they represent. This forum brings together lawmakers at both national and state level, members of the civil society, women rights advocates, development experts and partners, and the media, all of whom play very vital role in building a more participatory and accountable democracy. Today's thematic dialogue will focus on two critical and timely issues. The first being special seats bill for women, and the second, the constitutional role of traditional rulers. These topics go to the heart of our collective quest for equity, identity, and effective governance. The special seats bill is not merely about representation. It's not just about female representation. It is about affirming the rightful place of women in our democracy. It is about unlocking the potentials of over half of our population for national development. In fact, for most of us parliamentarians, when we leave the shores of this country to meet with our colleagues outside here, and they begin to roll out the data on female representation, most often you'll be ashamed to be identified as a Nigerian because of the kind of data that you see. While other African countries will be talking about 44%, 45%, 30%, Nigeria is talking about 4.2%. And as leaders, I believe that our role is where you find any anomaly in the society. You, as parliamentarians, through legislation, try to correct it. And that is why we are pushing for this bill, even with a sunset clause, just to let us know. We are not saying that it should remain ad infinitum. At a particular time, when the gap is covered, this bill will die naturally. That is the essence of adding a sunset clause. As you would hear in the course of the dialogue, the bill does not seek to displace men in parliament or limit the opportunities of men to run for offices. It only seeks to provide women with more opportunities to not just run for office, but also bring women-specific issues to the floor for legislative action. Equally, the discourse on the constitutional role of traditional rulers is an invitation to reflect on how we honor our history while evolving our federal structure to meet present realities. Our royal institutions embody the cultural wisdom. It embodies the moral authority and the local legitimacy that must be constructively integrated into national governance. As democracy grows and our country changes with the world, it is pertinent that we do not forget our roots and that we carry along the very foundations of our societal existence. Hence, the need to involve our traditional rulers and show them the different ways they can help in building the Nigeria we need within the tenets of our superior law, the ground norm, that is the Constitution. Democracy thrives when institutions and citizens engage in mutual dialogue, not monologue. Our legislative processes gain legitimacy. It gains depth and relevance when civil society leaders, women groups, and the grassroots voices are not just observed, but active participants in shaping the laws and influencing the policies that govern our nation. In particular, the effort to increase women's political representation, including proposals to create additional seats for women in the National and State Assembly, is not only a legislative aspiration, but a moral and national development imperative. No nation can achieve its full potential when half of its population remains underrepresented in decision-making spaces. We must therefore embrace the synergy between civic participation and parliamentary action as a driver of policy innovation, accountability, and inclusion. The Open Week reinforces that democratic governance is not the business of elected officials alone. It is a shared responsibility. Looking forward, what do we intend to achieve? As we move into the second half of our 4-year tenure, we remain mindful of the immense work still ahead. The House must continue to position itself as a beacon of integrity, effectiveness, and inclusiveness. We must deepen oversight, speed up priority legislations, and continue to advocate reforms that will secure justice, secure peace, secure equity, and development for all Nigerians. Conclusively, I thank all of you for joining us in this vital week of reflection and collaboration. Your presence enriches the dialogue and reminds us that the strength of a democracy lies not only in its institution, but in the quality of its citizens' engagement. I also thank the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, PLAC, led by Dr. Clement Wanko, my partner in this, for the support and the work that they have done with the National Assembly over the years, for helping us to build a better National Assembly. We say thank you, Clem. Thank you to you and your partners, including the UK FCDO, the European Union, and CAS, for your valuable partnership with us, the National Assembly. We are grateful. Let this open week serve as a springboard for stronger partnership, deeper civic engagement, and more responsive House of Representatives. I welcome you all once again and wish us very fruitful deliberations. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Isn't it wonderful that in dealing with the matters at hand, the minority leader, Honorable Kingsley Chinda, ensured that he started with the general feeling that is out there on the streets from time to time, and he described it as the House of Representatives and indeed the National Assembly is one of the most most misunderstood and perhaps most maligned. And so it should not be, because if you pay attention to the work that has been going on in the current House of Representatives under the leadership, you would see many innovative strategies that affect human beings and real lives. And as we commence this People's House Open Week, we're going to find ourselves listening to those initiatives and all the work that is going on. Honorable Chinda talked about the fact that no nation can grow without the other half of its population coming along. He talked about the fact that data management is critical for innovation and technology. He says the House of Representatives work is shared responsibility, and therefore they are advancing reforms to secure justice, peace, and development. It's time now to give another round of applause to Honorable Kingsley Chinda, Minority Leader. We thank you, sir, for your intervention that has set the tone for the work that is going to take place here today. Your Excellency, the representative of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Excellencies and Right Honorable members here, Your Excellency, our Chief Host, the Right Honorable Speaker, represented, of course, by the Majority Leader today, Right Honorable Professor Ihombere. We're very delighted that Excellencies, Deputy Governors are here today with us of Kaduna State and Ogun State, and Excellencies, wives of governors, and of course, the First Lady Designate of Akwa Ibom State. We're truly delighted that we're gathered here for a purpose, which is the purpose of engagement, and that engagement is a powerful place to be when you are a citizen. It's always good to see members of the diplomatic corps here to join us, and those supporting international agencies, particularly the UK International Development, the European Union, and other agencies who have supported the House of Representatives. Today, I would like to begin our goodwill messages by going to a woman who knows what time it is when it matters most to women, and to hear the House of Representatives talk about how their support for women is gathering momentum. I'd like to welcome here the representative of the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Hajia Iman Suleiman, represented today by Hajia Zainab Abubakar Ibrahim, Deputy National Secretary, Interparty Advisory Council, and Executive Director, Women Directorate, Interparty Advisory Council, Deputy National Women Leader, APC, as she makes her way to give her own goodwill message. I'd like for us to keep the goodwill messages short so that we can go on to the discussions at hand. So we will give each person speaking at least 2 to 3 minutes. Please welcome her again as she makes her way to the podium.
Great Nigerian women. That's loud. That's not loud enough. Great Nigerian women. Greater Nigerian women. And the greatest and the greatest and the greatest Nigerian women. Great Nigerian men. Great Nigerian men. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on the protocols already established by our dear sister, the MC. But I would like to recognize the presence of our dear mother, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented by our dear sister, Honorable Kafilat, who is our leader in the House of Representatives, who is chairing the Women's Affairs Committee in the House of Representatives. We also have our trailblazers, the two deputy governors here present, the deputy governor of Kaduna and the deputy governor of Ogun. Thank you very much for coming. And our House leader and the leadership of the House of Representatives and all the members, distinguished sisters, ladies, and gentlemen. I am here on behalf of the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Hajia Honorable Iman Suleiman, to read her remarks. She is unavoidably absent, but she is here with us in spirit because her agenda is women, women, and women. Thank you very much. And I read her speech. Remarks by the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, Iman Suleiman Ibrahim, FSI, at the first interactive dialogue session on the special bills for women on the 9th July 2025. I begin by expressing my deep appreciation to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, for his steadfast leadership in upholding the vibrancy of the National Assembly and for going a step further to place the issue of special seats for women firmly on the national agenda. This bold inclusion signals a new era of inclusive lawmaking where equity and justice are not sidelined but championed. I particularly commend the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, for his undoubting commitment and consistent advocacy in pushing the special seats bill for women. His leadership has been instrumental in mobilizing critical support for the cause, and we acknowledge his courage and partnership. A round of applause for the Deputy Speaker, please. To the leadership of the House and the Senate, I extend our gratitude for recognizing the urgency of this matter. I also wish to specifically appreciate the chairpersons of the Committees on Women Affairs, Senator Ireti Kingibe in the Senate, and Honorable Kafilat Obara in the House of Representatives, and the chair of the Women in Parliament, Honorable Fatih Talba, for their tireless work and unwavering dedication to the advancement of women's rights and political representation. Let me also salute the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, our father, His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, and our First Lady, our dear mother, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, for charting a bold and inclusive pathway for Nigerian women, children, and families through the Renewed Hope Agenda. Their vision and leadership are laying the foundation for sustainable gender equity across the spheres. Distinguished guests, as we gather here today, the statistics compel urgent reflection. In our current 10th National Assembly, there are only 4 women in the Senate and 17 in the House of Representatives. Just 21 women out of 469 legislators, representing a mere 4.5% of the total membership. At the state level, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, only 48 were elected into the Houses of Assembly in 2023, out of over 1,000 female candidates. That is just 4.7% representation across all 36 states. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, even more alarming is that 15 out of 36 states of Nigeria do not have female representation in the Houses of Assembly. These states are Abia, Bauchi, Borno, Gombe, Imo, Jigawa, Kano, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, Osun, Rivers, Sokoto, Yobe, Zamfara. They currently have no female legislators at all. Okay, in commission, we have in Rivers. How many? Okay, we have in Niger. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Let's continue. We'll take note of those. A round of applause for every state that has a female representative. A round of applause for every house of assembly that has at least one woman representation. So we must pose always with our hearts open and eyes unclouded in the chambers where laws are made, when voices rise on tax and trade, but fall silent on the pain of childbirth or the shame girls carry for bleeding in school. Who will speak of the mother who died giving life? Who will defend the girl first to grow up too soon? Or the boy first to become a gangster, as who will carry the weight of the widows? The hopes of daughters, the cries of the forgotten. When no woman sits at that table, their stories remain untold, their needs unmet, their futures uncertain. If not women, who? If not, when will justice finally come? The Special Seats Bill is not a favor to women. It is a national necessity. It is a constitutional corrective long overdue to ensure democracy works for all citizens. It is about justice, representation, and the sustainable development of our dear country, Nigeria. To the sponsors of the bill, our partners in civil society, the media, and everyone who continues to champion this cause, Nigerian women say thank you. Together, we have the opportunity to make history and deliver a legacy of inclusive governance for generations to come. Let us seize this moment, let us speak with one voice, and let us rise as a nation that values the voices and leadership of its women. And when history looks back on this moment, let it be said that Nigeria chose wisdom over exclusion, that we opened the doors to 100 million dreams while planting equity in the heart of democracy. The Special Seat Bill will not just empower women, it will strengthen homes, inform policies, nurture peace, and ignite the full genius of a country. This is not a woman's fight, no, it is the Nigeria's opportunity. Let us not lose it. Long life the Nigerian women, great Nigerian women! Yay! Long life the 10th National Assembly, great Nigerian men! Yay! God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, it means that in those houses of assembly that don't have a single female representation, men are heads of the committees on women. Can they speak for women? No! Can they represent us well? No! Experience is the best part. We should be given the opportunity to represent ourselves, speak for ourselves, formulate policies for ourselves, and also support our men. Thank you very much.
starting, there was no way that I could use my director of ceremony powers to bring that to a close, especially because without wearing any glasses, everybody knows my gender. Therefore, today is a powerful day as a first interactive dialogue session, a special seat bill for women, as well explicated by our last speaker, Haja Zainab Abubakar Ibrahim, representing the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs. And I think she did an incredible job. Let's clap for her one more time. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, sir, we have in our midst Honorable Usman Kamo, Chief Whip of the House. We have in our midst Honorable Isa, Minority Whip in the House. We have in our midst Honorable Aliyu Madaiki, Deputy Minority Leader. And as I continue to get the names, I will definitely ensure that I bring them to you. All of you are very special guests to us. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, sir, we had received in our midst earlier today a group of young people, and it's important that they are in your midst today. Students of Government Secondary School, Nyanya, Abuja. Let me see by a show of your hands, where are you? Students of Government Secondary School, Nyanya, Abuja. They're here. And in a conversation with them before this event started, Your Excellency, two of them said they wanted to be lawyers, the ones I met. One said she wanted to read mass communication. And the other one said, because I have come here, everything looks very nice, and people seem to be going about their businesses with seriousness. I want to become a member of the House of Representatives. And she's only 15. I just thought I should bring that to your attention. Representative of Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, a Right Honorable Speaker, sir, distinguished leaders and principal officers of the House of Representatives, women groups that are gathered here, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's time now for me to bring a man who has been doing a lot of work with the House of Representatives over the years and being in the forefront of assisting in the reforms and galvanizing the work that is being done in the House of Representatives for positive progress. Help me welcome my friend and brother, Clement Nwankwo, Executive Director, Policy and Legal Advocacy.
The Right Honorable Speaker, the representative of the First Lady, Your Excellencies, Honorable Members, permit me to continue with the protocol already established. I would like to congratulate the National Assembly, the House of Representatives, for this open week. As already explained by my very good friend and minority leader of the House, Right Honorable Kingsley Chinda, this is for all of us a very novel situation with the House of Representatives. This would be the second year that the open week would be happening. It would be the second opportunity for us in civil society to engage with lawmaking, oversight, and representation to their very face and directly. The House of Representatives has set for itself and lived up to its name of the People's House. And we are very delighted, particularly from us in the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center PLAC, to have this work relationship with the National Assembly to support the work the National Assembly is doing on various areas and various issues, particularly constitutional electoral reform, but also working with the different committees of the National Assembly to support their ability to deliver on several of the issues that they have outlined. The National Assembly was the first in the House of Representatives was the first in the National Assembly to start with creating a legislative agenda for itself. And in the 10th National Assembly, it clearly set out different issues covering over 8 areas that it intends to help to deliver on good governance. One of those areas is that of engagement with citizens and opening up the process of lawmaking to civic engagement, to engagement with citizens. And this is evident from what the House of Representatives has done over the last 2 days, including today. The House of Representatives has also very strongly stated its commitments to the passage of the Special Seats Bill. And I'm delighted that the leader of the House, who is representing the Speaker here this morning, was part of a National Assembly delegation that recently went to Kenya to see how women are very well represented in their legislative process. And for all of us, it's important that this was the case, and I think it's so very helpful that the House of Representatives, the Speaker himself, the Speaker's wife, the Deputy Speaker, and the leadership of the National Assembly have very clearly stated their commitments to the passage of the Special Seats Bill. And anyone who has read the Special Seats Bill will clearly understand that it does not take to dilute, it doesn't seek to take any seat away from anybody. The 360 seats remain. What is being sought to be created in the Special Seats Bill is additional seats that will increase women representation, either by the fact that these new seats are added or by their ability to contest with men in the existing 360 seats. So no seat is being taken away from any man. It's really that, as the Minority Leader, Right Honorable Kingsley Chinda mentioned, it is, of course, very embarrassing to go to meetings internationally where Nigeria's votes are reduced simply because there are not enough women in those meetings. Or Nigeria is actually disrespected because of the low level of women representation. And when the representative of the Minister of Women Affairs talked about equity in our democracy, it means really that we must make our democracy equitable. We must ensure that for all of us who are supporting the legislature, whether at the state or national level, that we do our best to ensure that the Special Seats Bill is taken very seriously. It is not a matter of faith or religion that you exclude women. I do not think that any religion excludes any particular gender from participation in governance. I do not think that you can find support in religion to carry out inequitable practices, which is where we are today is. And if we are to see more women represented, it would take the commitment of everyone who is in this room and everyone who is in the National Assembly to support this to happen. So on behalf of the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, I want to say that we are working very strongly with all of our partners, and I'm happy that the Minister of Women Affairs has shown very great support, very good lead on this subject. That's a very important direction for the Honorable Minister in terms of bringing in the executive, and I'm sure that our colleague here, Right Honorable Kafila Togbara, who is representing the First Lady, is also doing a lot of work with getting support from the First Lady and all of those who are in the executive. So I'd like to say thank you so very much, but also really to latch on to what Honorable Chinda mentioned, the support that we have received from our development partners. The UK High Commissioner is well represented here. That support has come from the British High Commission, the FCDO, but also I see Ruben here from the European Union to say thank you so much for all of the support that the EU has given The ambassador of Belgium is here with us. It's delightful to see you here in this conversation. And the hope is that all of this support will crystallize at the end of the day in the passage of the Special Seats Bill. For the 10th National Assembly, it will be the most important bill you have ever passed in this country if the Special Seats Bill passes. Please, or let me say, when the Special Seats Bill passes. So please, this is really important for all of us, men and women, who are working with the National Assembly, that this passes. Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
And really just one more point. The director of ceremonies who is here is a national treasure. And I say that because for anyone who knows Eugenia Abu, you would know that she has distinguished herself not as a woman, but as one of the best broadcasters this country has ever had. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your kindness, Mr. Nwankwo. I appreciate that. And thank you for your intervention. I've known Clem now for almost over 30 years. And Mr. Clement Nwankwo is a man who is a he for she. Clement has remained in the forefront of advocating for women for as long as I can remember. And I believe that if you're a he for she, you love your mother beyond words, and you love your daughters, and you love your wife. When you see him in their presence, you know why he is a he for she. And as a man who is involved in civil society work for as long as I can remember, he always provides the support for the National Assembly through his organization, Plaque. Let's give another round of applause to Mr. Clement Nwankwo for being so gracious. I see with us today we have the Belgian ambassador. Your Excellency would like to welcome you here. We thank you for your presence. Not only are you here today, but you wear a tie that signifies end violence against women. When you wear anything that is orange, you have spoken without speaking. Non-verbal communication is what His Excellency has done today by wearing our colors. We thank you. We thank you, Your Excellency. That is so kind. Thank you. People go around and they carry on their shoulders the weight of the burden of women. When you have women who have been in a room and in a situation of strife, and you send men, and I'm talking now in my field of journalism, you send men into the room to interview those women who have gone through trauma. They are not going to speak to you if you're a man. If a woman has been multiply raped and you send a male journalist, she's not going to speak to you. Reason being that a woman understands the dynamics, and a woman will open up more to a woman. And so if you want voices of women to be heard, it's important to have women in the forefront to do the needful and to do the job. And that is why we encourage every field to have women in them. And I think the House of Representatives is taking a good lead by this bill that we're talking about today. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, sir, represented by Your Excellency, the Majority Leader, we're absolutely delighted that we have some of those who are in the fulcrum of our partnership in the room today. And I'd like to invite to speak His Excellency, the UK High Commissioner, Dr. Richard Montgomery, represented today by Mr. William Robinson. If he will step forward, please, and take his goodwill message. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, the Right Honourable Speaker of the House of Representatives, other presiding officers of the House and distinguished members of the National Assembly, esteemed guests, colleagues and friends. I am very pleased to be with you today on behalf of the British High Commissioner to Nigeria, and if I'm honest, a little bit humbled as well. Because this is yet another remarkable milestone and a special moment in Nigeria's democratic journey. And I would like to begin by commending the Speaker of the House of Representatives and his leadership team for their vision in convening this important event and for his steadfast championing of the Special Seats Bill. As your partner, we see the initiative to pass this bill as a landmark proposal. that speaks to the heart of democratic inclusion and national progress in Nigeria. This initiative, as been so eloquently described before, is not just about legislation. It's about the future of representation in Nigeria. It's about ensuring the voices of Nigeria's women are actively shaping the decisions that affect every aspect of national life. And the evidence from across the world shows that this is a role that has huge potential for Nigeria's development. Women's political participation has profound positive impacts on communities, on legislators, on political parties, and of course, on citizens' lives. It helps democracy deliver. When women are empowered as political leaders, countries experience higher standards of living, better education, infrastructure, and better health outcomes. By creating space for women in the National Assembly and legislative houses across this country, the Special Seats Bill opens the door to a more representative and dynamic democracy. So, Mr. Speaker, there could be nothing more symbolic about this than the fact that we are having this conversation during the open week of the House of Representatives. An initiative that deeply reflects the very essence of inclusive and transparent democratic practice. So the timing of today's event is also apt, as public hearings on the constitutional amendment process of the 10th National Assembly takes place across the country this month. And as your partner, we recognise that this is not a journey that ends with legislation, and through our partnership with the National Assembly, civil society and other stakeholders, we will continue to provide the technical assistance, share lessons from our own experience, and support the voices of Nigerians on this issue whenever we are invited to do so. So let me close by congratulating the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker, and the leadership of the House for their courage and foresight in prioritising legislation in this area from the very start of the 10th House of Representatives, as reflected in your legislative agenda. We also acknowledge, and this is super important to me, the tireless efforts of the Nigeria women, activists, legislators, community organisers, religious and cultural leaders, everyone who has worked for years to bring this issue to the forefront of national discourse and action. I am so humbled to be here with you on this. So democracy thrives when it reflects the diversity of people it serves. And we've heard many speakers admirably show this. The Special Seats Bill is about Nigeria continuing to progress its democracy for the benefit not just of women, of course, but all its citizens. So thank you once again for inviting us to be part of this significant moment in Nigeria's democratic and legislative process. And I wish you all the best in your deliberations and the rest of Open Week. So thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Mr. William Robinson, who's representing His Excellency Dr. Richard Montgomery, United Kingdom High Commissioner. And we would like to thank you for your intervention and the support of the British government for all the work that you've been doing in placing Nigeria front and center. We truly appreciate you. Another round of applause for the UK High Commissioner's representative. Right Honourable Speakers are represented by the Majority Leader, Right Honourable Professor Julius Ihonvere, the representative of the First Lady, Right Honourable Obara. We thank you for being here with us. We appreciate your presence and the work that you've been doing for women in the House of Representatives in your personal capacity and in your professional and official capacity. And it is worth saying that Her Excellency has asked you to represent her today is a big deal for all of us, because we know the work that you have been doing in the House of Representatives for all of us. We appreciate your presence. We welcome you once more. I would like to put on record that we have, of course, with us today, principal officers of the House of Representatives, Honorable Usman Kamo, Chief Whip of the House, Honorable Ali Issa JC, Minority Whip, Honorable Aliyu Madaki, Deputy Minority Leader,
and we have quite a number of members of the House of Representatives here today. Honorable Sheyi Showumi, Honorable Kanga, Honorable Sheikh Husale Rijau, Honorable Abdullahi Balarabe Dubai, Honorable Adegbeson Joseph, Honorable Aliyu Wakili Boya, Honorable David A. Ogewu, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on Army. And we also have with us Honorable Umar Ajilo. We also have with us my friend, Senator Ita Enang, former presidential liaison to the National Assembly, who always tries to make himself available whenever there is work around here. We truly welcome you. And we welcome, of course, the Deputy Speaker of the Kogi State House of Assembly. We welcome her most sincerely. And all other members of the Houses of Assembly across the country, in their numbers, they are wearing the same sash that the representative of a British High Commissioner is wearing over his neck. So we have that sash across board. I can see all of you. We welcome you and we thank you for your presence. We have Honorable Mrs. Amina Darasimi, PDP National Woman Leader. She's here and she's president of the Forum of National Women Leaders of Political Parties. We have Dr. Helen Taiwo, who is here as well. She's president, Southern Women Empowerment Forum. The women have arrived in this space today because it's their day. So we sincerely welcome all of them. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we continue to bring in goodwill messages, we have one outstanding one from the European Union delegation. Before we get there, I'd like to speak with organizers very briefly on how we want to conduct this dialogue, which has encouraged more than just a great number of women to the room. We have lots and lots of women's groups in the room today. And because this is very important to them, they are all over the place ensuring that they pay attention. So if I have just one individual from the organizing committee so that we can quickly talk through how we intend to run this event. Is the Chief of Staff to the Honorable Speaker here? Can I have your attention? Yes, everybody here? Let me begin proceedings by getting straight up to the first interactive dialogue session, the Special Sixth Bill for Women. And we want to thank the House of Representatives for making this such an important portion of our conversation. Forgive me, I need to confer for a few minutes. We shall immediately ensure that this is under the belt of who it should be under, and it's important to give honor to whom honor is due. And at this point, Her Excellency, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the very distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu, will now declare this particular open week open, especially as it concerns women of the land. And therefore, I would now ask for us to Your Excellency, I'd like to crave your indulgence so that you speak last to declare it open, so that nobody speaks after you for this opening ceremony. I would therefore like to crave your indulgence for a few minutes while I invite the EU representative to make his intervention before you speak. Let's now invite Ruben, the head International Cooperation EU, to speak on behalf of the European Union delegation. Please come forward
to deliver this. See here? Can you clear the pathway for Ruben to make his way? Thank you very much. Ruben is making his way. It's a long walk. Please encourage him as he comes. Thank you very much. Let's clap. The EU has been working very hard on the various legislative processes and other processes in Nigeria providing support. Thank you, Ruben.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Apologies, first of all, and allow me, of course, to stand on the already established 16 protocol. Our ambassador is on the way, but hopefully he will be able to join us in a few minutes. So on his behalf, I would like to thank you for the invitation to be with you today. I think it's a wonderful initiative that the National Assembly organizes this open week, to allow all the stakeholders and the Nigerian public to better understand the work that this assembly is doing. We are very proud and honored to accompany the process that hopefully will see the birth of this important piece of legislation. I think Mr. Clement already mentioned that it has nothing to do with faith or with religion. It's all about giving a voice and allow women, Nigerian women, to fully participate in the democratic process of Nigeria. And this is something that we would like Nigeria to be a champion. Many people are looking at Nigeria in Africa and beyond to lead in this process, and others have done it. A recent visit took place to see and to learn from the experience of Kenya in this respect, but other countries are also leading and are realizing that it is important to involve. I am very much impressed by the passionate voices of Nigerian women gathering here with us today. I think the atmosphere is electrifying, and I think it shows the vibrant voices and the capacity of Nigerian women to lead and to fully participate in this process. So we as European Union, together with other partners in the international community, are very proud to partner with the Nigerian civil society, with the House of Representatives, with the Senate and others, to see whether we can find a compromise, a solution that will allow more women to sit in both chambers, but also at state level. So this is what I wanted to say. We stand with you. We are proud to be part. I see some people raising their hands saying, yes, together we are. We look forward to continue the work. Anything that we can do as European Union to support the process, we are ready to provide, and we look forward to seeing the adoption of this law very soon, hopefully before the end of the year in 2025. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ruben. The European Union is particularly proud of the strong voices of Nigerian women, and they are also very proud of the work that the House of Representatives is doing towards the special seat bill for women. And it just doesn't require too much to see how vibrant Nigerian women are all over the world. Wherever they are, they showcase their talent, as do Nigerians all over the world. But Nigerian women are such a vibe, except you haven't met one. And those who are not Nigerians, who have married Nigerian women, can attest to that. And so we're very grateful for their professionalism, because when we say the women are married, they say, no, the only marriage they do now. Women are doing great stuff, from engineering to mathematics to physics, everywhere in academics and in politics. And we believe, God, that soon what the European Union representative has talked about, this bill will become something that we would see in our lifetime. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria has been front and center in pushing for Nigerian women to do better, in pushing for young girls to do better. Her interventions are in the health sector, in agriculture, and as she continues to follow through in the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency, Mr. President, we would like now to invite the mother of the nation, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency, the very distinguished Senator Oluremi Tinubu, in representation today by a woman who has carried the flag of women in the House of Representatives. Help me welcome Honorable Kafilat Ubara, representing the First Lady.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very delighted to be here today to represent the mother of the nation, a mother, my leader, my mentor, the pillar beside, behind, and all around Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu. As we are here to discuss the reserved seats for women, we all know that the reserved seats or special seats for women is a very crucial step towards balancing the gender parity, especially in the legislative arm of government. And this matter is not just a question of adding more women to the number. It's a matter of ensuring that the voices, the perspectives, the views, the ideology, the position, and of course the interests of this percentage of women who constitute about half of the population of this nation are embedded in the policy making of this country. We all know that women have been underrepresented for too long, and of course there's no better time than now. And all appreciation goes to the leadership of the House of Representatives for taking this initiative on. So now I will go straight to the speech of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The next voice you'll be hearing will be that of the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, ably represented. All protocol duly extended. Remarks by the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, at the 2025 National Assembly Open Week, the session on special seats for women in Parliament, held at the National Assembly Complex, Abuja, Wednesday, July 9, 2025. I am delighted to join you all today at the 2025 National Assembly Open Week session on special seats for women in Parliament. Let me begin by thanking the leadership of the National Assembly, especially the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, GCON, for the kind invitation, for the foresight to convene this 2025 Open Week. This event comes at a very important time in our nation's history, as the National Assembly is currently conducting public hearings across the country on key constitutional and legislative reforms. One of the most critical issues being raised is the question of women's representation and inclusion in politics, particularly through reserved seats for women in the legislature. As we reflect on Nigeria's democratic journey, we must be honest about where we are and where we bold to be and where we need to go. The truth is that women remain significantly underrepresented in all levels of governance, despite making up nearly half of the population. This is not just a question of fairness, it is a matter of strengthening our democracy and deepening our national development. I strongly believe that giving women a seat at the table is not about charity. It is about recognizing competence, diversity of experience, and the unique perspectives women bring to leadership. That is why this session on special seats for women is not only timely, but necessary. It presents an opportunity for us to move beyond conversations, but also towards real concrete action. I commend the 10th National Assembly for creating space for public engagement and inclusive dialogue. I also applaud the efforts of women groups, civil society, and the supportive men who stand as allies in this cause. On my part, I will continue to support initiatives that promote women's political empowerment, education, economic inclusion. I encourage our lawmakers to approach this issue with open minds and patriotic hearts. Let us make history by enshrining representation that reflects the strength and diversity of Nigeria. On this note, I hereby declare the session on special seats for women in Parliament open. God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Her Excellency, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, CON, First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Very well done to you, Honorable Kafila Togbara, representing the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, whose voice you heard in that speech that says, I will continue to encourage women empowerment. Let's give a round of applause to the mother of the nation. She has done truly well. We also want to thank and greet the leadership of the National Library Trust Fund, who have provided us such an elegant venue for this open week. It's always good also to see the former Minister of State Foreign Affairs, who is also a member of the House. In her lifetime, she's been a legislator and a member of the executive. Would like to welcome you, ma'am. Thank you very much for being here with us. Please give her a round of applause. She has done so much for women. Welcome. Welcome. It's always good to see you, ma'am. I would like to ask if Honorable Akin Rotimi is doing the vote of thanks now, the spokesperson for the House of Representatives, or at the end of the day. This would be at the end. Let me use the opportunity to say that now that the session has been declared by Her Excellency the First Lady, I'll quickly run a rush of recognitions real quick. I see Honorable Auta. I see her sitting here, doing great work for women. And wherever she goes, she insists that you must have a ramp, because people who are challenged need a ramp to get where they are going. And this woman has gone everywhere, irrespective of sitting in this chair and doing great work for women. Honorable Auta, it's good to see you, always doing a great job. May I at this point welcome the Honorable Afiniki Eunice Dauda, Deputy Speaker, Niger State House of Assembly. Right Honorable Comfort Mwochala, Deputy Speaker, Kogi State House of Assembly, and we welcome her. Honorable Hassan Shehu Hussein, Honorable Hassan Bala Abubakar III, Honorable Abdul Malik Danga, Honorable Ahmed Jaha, Chair, Insurance Committee and Member, Reps Chibok, Dambwa, Goza, Honorable Prince Akim Adeyemi, Chairman, House Committee on Southwest Development Commission, Honorable Fatima Talba, House Committee Chair, Women in Parliament, Husseini Mohammed Jalgo, Chairman, House Committee on Pensions, Honorable Barrister Blessing Amadi, Deputy Chair, Women in Parliament, Chairman, Mauritius Friendship Committee. We have the Executive Secretary, National Assembly Library and Resource Center, Honorable Henry Mwauba, and Honorable Mari Ebikare, Chairperson, Nigeria-India Friendship Group. Right Honorable Bolaji Olagbaju, Deputy Speaker, Ekiti State. Right Honorable Lami Ladi, Deputy Speaker, Benue State. Vice Chairman, Deputy Speakers Forum of Nigeria. Mr. Zephaniah Aura, UN Women, EU Ambassador, Ambassador Gildia Mino, who has arrived already. Honorable Usman Ibrahim Aoyo, Jigawa State. Honorable Emeka Chinedu, Deputy Chairman, House Committee on FCT. And of course, we have, indeed, important that she's here, the National President of the National Council of Women's Society, Princess Edna D.D. Azura. We have in our midst Honorable Asabe Velita Bashir, Director General, CEO, Mariam Babangida National Center for Women, and Honorable Engineer Rodney Ambalowe, Chairman, Committee on Nigeria-Switzerland Parliament Friendship Group. I would like to encourage people not to approach this desk now so that we can get the job done. Her Excellency, the First Lady's representative, would now, having declared the session open, will take her leave. But before she leaves, would like to take the vote of thanks to secure the closure of the opening session, which the session for the discussion has been declared open by the First Lady. And if she has now declared it open, this is now the opening session closing. Then we go into the dialogue and the discussion. And so I'd like to call on the House spokesperson. If he is here, is Honorable Akinrotimi in the House? I haven't seen him today. And so I'd like to plead with the Honorable Speaker to please let me have someone else to do the needful, the leadership of the Library Trust Fund. Oh, we have a volunteer, sir. Sir, can I go ahead? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, the veteran journalist, Eugenia Abu. I hope I'm correct. Thank you. Ameja Babao is my name. I represent the extremely displaced and victimized children of Chibok, Damboa, and Goza Federal Constituency, including the 82 not yet recovered Chibok girls. My job today is to rescue my junior colleague, who is the House spokesperson in person of Honorable Aki Rotimi, one of the communicative communicators we have ever seen in the corridors of National Assembly. My leader, who is reliably representing the Speaker, as well as distinguished Senator, the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, being represented here by my sister, my immediate sitting partner in person of Honorable Kafilat from Lagos, distinguished members of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I am highly elated to be with the microphone to do the job of a vote of thanks. But before doing that, I would like to register my appreciation for the turnout in support of our women in Nigeria. I know how important a woman is, particularly in my constituency, because I took over from a woman, and I know how I begged her to leave the seat for me to come back the second time. That is Honorable Dr. Asabe Velita Bashir, the DG, Chief Executive Officer, National Center for Women Development. I had to beg her as an elder sister. She is my elder sister. So she decided to give it to her younger brother. So I will be the first person. Yes. Thank you so much. I will be the first person. When I finish, I will give her back, no problem. But I will be the first person at the front line to support special seats for women, even to secure my own seat. The truth of the matter is, everywhere in the world we have been attending conferences of Commonwealth parliamentary associations and other related associations globally. Since when I was in the State House of Assembly, with nothing less than 20 years cognate experience in legislation, there are special seats in almost substantial part of parliaments across the world. And most of such special seats is given to women and people living with disability and old age and professionals, technocrats. So I am in support 100%, including the 82 not yet recovered Chibok girl I'm representing, who we don't know their whereabouts, but we are praying for their return any moment from now. I equally want to thank the leadership of the National Assembly, most especially the leadership under Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, for steering the course to fight for a Nigerian woman. I know what actually happened when the bill was to be introduced. I know how the management or the leadership of the House of Representatives worked tirelessly to make this a reality and have this stage of legislation. I equally want to thank the leadership of women in the House of Representatives, particularly the Chairman House Committee on Women Affairs and the Chairman House Committee on Women in Parliament, my sisters, Honorable Kafilat and Honorable Fatuma Talba. I know how they have been battling with men in the chamber to convince them in a very persuasive manner. Let me repeat it, persuasive. Persuasive in the sense that they have never been confrontational. They will persuade, they will joke with you, they will go to the extent of you even handing over your own ballot to them to vote for you. This is how they have gone. Then I equally want to commend the remaining 350-something members that are men, who are more or less gender-friendly to make this bill a reality. Lastly, members of the press, we must thank you here for not only coming, but for providing all the professional coverage and making reportage across the world as far as this bill is concerned. We thank you very much for that. We equally want to thank the consultants, particularly our senior colleague, who has been helter-skelter on this matter to make it a reality. Then lastly, I want to commend the leadership, the secretariat of the committee, who have been doing the nitty-gritties to make sure that this bill is put to order for members to be convinced beyond any reasonable doubt to support. I equally want to thank international development partners, European Union, other non-governmental organizations and international INGOs and UN agencies who have participated openly or subliminally to make this bill a reality. On this note, despite it's an impromptu situation, I would like to use this opportunity to thank each and every one of you and to confirm to you beyond any reasonable doubt that you have my vote for a special seat for women in the House of Representatives as well as in my constituency. Thank you so much.
When somebody speaks like this and it's extempo, it means that he doesn't need to go to the Eugenia Abu Media Public Speaking School. He has done so well. Well done. Thank you for your intervention. Let me remind us again that the support for the Open Week House of Representatives is from the UK FCDU, UK International Development, just as I mentioned. And to say that we already have in our midst
His Excellency Ambassador Gochi Amino, EU Ambassador to Nigeria and ECOWAS. We thank you for your presence. Thank you very much indeed. I would like, at this point, to crave the indulgence of Her Excellency, the First Lady's representative, who says that she needs to now attend to other state matters and she'll be taking her leave. This would not interrupt us in any way, and having worked with Her Excellency, the First Lady, I know that she would say, do not close the event on my account so that it keeps going. So she would leave and would have very few escorts who will take her out the door, and then we will continue the proceedings. Your Excellency's representative, we so thank you very much for being here with us, and I'd like to call on organizers for 1 or 2 persons to please give her an escort by the door. Thank you very much. Protocol, please escort Her Excellency, the First Lady's representative for us. Thank you very much indeed. Your Excellency, Mr. Speaker, represented by the Majority Leader, Your Excellencies, the Deputy Governors of Kaduna and Deputy Governor of Ogun State, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen here present, we will now begin the session as it has been put before you in your program. And I would like, while that is going on, to recognize Right Honorable Bolaji Olagbaju, Deputy Speaker, Ekiti State, Right Honorable Lamid Ladi, whom I've already recognized. And I would like at this point to invite to the speaking position we have Honorable Chimabi Sam, member representing Enugu North, Enugu State. At this moment, I would like to quickly invite those who are going to be discussing this issue. They say it's when the day breaks that you are awake. Indeed, when your day breaks is when your time has come. And so this bill's discussion will be carried out by our chairman for this discussion is, of course, the Right Honorable Speaker, represented by the Majority Leader. And our panel, we have Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, Mr. Speaker, who will take his place. Right Honorable Benjamin Okezie Kalu, the Right Honorable Majority Leader, will now step up to take his place. Mr. Leader, we thank you. You're not going to encourage leader. This is a very powerful discussion we're going to have now. Honorable Fatima Talba, Chairman, Committee on Women in Parliament. Hajia Zainab, representing the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs. Please make your way. And our discussants are on the floor. The organizers haven't told me who is moderating. Do you have a moderator? Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. Media, can you help us with the microphone so we are in the right place at this time? Your Excellency, sir, do you want anybody to represent Chairman, Committee on Women Affairs? She's not here anymore. Does she have a deputy in the house? Okay, so I should ask, where is Honorable Blessing? She's not here. Can I call the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, who is your member? She's here. Please, ma'am, I would like you to join this panel. You've done a lot of work for women, and you should know. Yeah, she was in Foreign Affairs, and she was also in the House. Please give her a round of applause as she makes her way to the podium. And of course, you can also join the panel, as it were. Thank you. Your Excellency, Right Honorable Majority Leader, Professor Ihonvere, the floor is yours at this time. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Is this thing working really? Can you hear me at the back? Great. Thank you very much. The Speaker is unable to join us immediately because of other urgent matters. Honorable Kalu is in the air trying to get to Nigeria, and I'm sure he will join us before the end of the day. However, the both of I'm sure we won't need that mobile. That's fine. I'm told the Deputy Governor of Ogun State will join the panel. That's quite welcome. Please give her a hand. I will make some very brief remarks. Welcome, Your Excellency. And we have enough women here that are very capable, to handle this topic. The first point I want us to take note of is that ordinarily, when you are reviewing a constitution, can you hear me back? Thank you. When you are reviewing a constitution, the process has to be transparent, inclusive, participatory, and process-driven. In this case, what we're adopting is more of an incrementalist process. But the House of Representatives stands for 360 constituencies. So every part of Nigeria is legitimately represented. But at the moment, what we are doing, in some sense, is looking at it from above. We have one more seat. Woman leader, PDP. Is she in the hall? Please join us. What we are doing is looking at this issue from the top. And we are doing our best as a committee to take the debate to the grassroots. Beginning next week or so, the Committee on Constitutional Review from the House of Representatives will be all over the country trying to get inputs on critical issues and topics from Nigerians. I can only want to urge Nigerian women to be present at these consultations. If you are not there in your numbers and you do not speak out and make your arguments the way they be, yes, I think the light is back. All right. Hello? I was saying, thank you, that at the various centers, and I think at the end of this we would announce the centers so that you know, please mobilize the women to attend. so that their voices can be heard. Number two, let us not assume that this struggle is a walk in the park. It absolutely is not a walk in the park. Even within the National Assembly, I cannot sit here and lie to you that we have 50% of the members supporting the bills. So it is your ability to mobilize the people at the grassroots, the voters who sent us here, to call their reps, send WhatsApp messages, put messages on their Facebook, etc., that you are watching. And if they do not vote, you know what to do when they come back home. If you do not do that, I can assure you, those members of the House, I can't even boast of 50% as we speak. I know the women leaders have done a lot of work, those in the House and outside the House, but I think the work has not been enough. We need to do more. Many of the civil society organizations I know that work on issues of gender and so on are very silent and invisible. That should not be the way to make progress in this struggle. As Clem Owankwo mentioned, I led the team to Kenya. Honorable Talba was there. The work that FIDA Kenya did, I'm not saying FIDA Nigeria doing 1/10 of that work. So we're talking of Kenya. Yes, they had a revolutionary path to independence in the Mau Mau movement, and women played a major role. Just like in many of Namibia, if you want, even Tanzania, and so on. But they did the kind of campaign that convinced even the most conservative segment of the society to support the special seats for women. Their Vote Adada, they call it Vote Adada, which is Vote a Woman, Vote a Mother, campaign was nationwide. In fact, they told us how they took some of the members of parliament whom they knew were conservative or so, took them to disco, danced with them, talked to them, bought them drinks and food. Though on the day of voting, not one of them showed up. But it was good, they were not there to vote against the bill. So the bill passed. So at least for them, they respected themselves by staying away. So I'm not saying you should take us to disco. But Honorable Talba has her own special approach that she wants to adopt on this matter, that whether we like it or we like it, something good must come out of it. I'm not sure if she's going to release that strategy here, because it's a special strategy. But I want to thank all of you for being here. The mobilization is good. Women who have managed to break the iron ceiling, they call it the glass ceiling. In Nigeria, it is an iron ceiling. Those women who have managed to break this iron ceiling should speak out more. Many are in important positions, particularly in the private sector. They are silent. They are not speaking. And in many of the states, I may be wrong, but I'm not sure I've heard any governor giving a speech and devoting one paragraph to the issue of women. Enugu does. That's why I say I may be wrong. But the ones I've watched, many don't. We have to mobilize all sectors. So I'm happy some deputy governors are here, and they would. I have friends among some governors. I also talk to them. And we must not also forget that part of this problem, this is my final sentence, comes from two major sources. Number one, the education system. It is still completely patriarchal in nature. It is still conservative and neo-colonial in content and context. It doesn't talk about it. So one of our colleagues who went to Kenya with us told us that he was brought up to believe that women were inferior, and that he should have no reason to respect a woman until he went to school, started meeting women. People started talking to him, and he took classes. He read before his views started to change. I'm not sure his views have changed very, very deeply, but at least he owns up to that. The content of our educational system, we need to look at it again. The second area where I think the problem is also coming from is in our political parties. We are here talking about women. Too much gatekeeping, too many men in charge. They make the woman a woman leader, some ghettos. They make her maybe treasurer or deputy something. And when they know that the deputy is relevant only when the chairman, it depends on the person who is chairman or chairperson. You know? So I think we must look at our political parties as well. So this struggle is not just within the House, it's also outside the House. I will stop there. We have a large panel here, 6 speakers. I don't want to have to cut everybody off. So why don't we take, where is that program? How many hours do we have? 50 minutes. 2 minutes is too small. Nobody can make any serious statement. No.
Your Excellency, you want them to open with 3 minutes intervention?
3 minutes.
3 minutes intervention for every speaker.
Let's begin with 3 minutes each. And let me begin with the Deputy, the High Excellency, Deputy Governor of the rapidly growing state.
Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I want to thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to thank the leadership of the House of Representatives for putting up this special seats bill for women. I only got to hear about it about 3-4 weeks ago when an association called the League of Women Voters came to my office to tell me about it. So when I heard the majority leader speaking that we needed to get more voice out there, I couldn't agree more. This is a fantastic bill in its own right. It is a very good bill. The issues that we also have to take cognizance of are the fact that this is the base, it is the minimum requirement that we are looking at in the House, and we want our men to understand, and also our women to understand, that it shouldn't stop us contesting in the other open seats in the House. So this will give us an absolute minimum of about 15%. And we should all still go out and compete in those other seats, because we have been told that these are temporary seats, and they're just a platform for our women to show what they have and what they are made of. But we must make sure that while we have those temporary seats, we already start to create opportunities for ourselves in the long-term seats that will make sure that once these seats get removed, we have a very good percentage. And I want to thank the majority leader for all that you're doing in the House for this. A bit disappointed to hear that you do not have 50% already, because when I listened to a member from Chibok, I thought, oh, this was the voice of all the men in the House, and that it was a walkover and a shoe in the park. I've seen 2 of my members from Ogun State here, so I believe that our 9 votes will be counted amongst us, and I'm going to work on them and bring their ballot papers. Just like somebody said earlier, that they persuade them, let them just give us their ballot papers, and these are 9 votes. We'll work very hard with our members. They're normally he for she, they're very supportive. That's why some of them are here already today. But we will make sure that we do not take them for granted. We take them, we talk to them, and also get them to help us persuade other people to make sure that we get this vote through. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you. Honorable Talba.
Our leader, my male colleagues here, let me start lobbying now. Your Excellencies, also two wives of the two deputy governors in here, my colleagues, good afternoon. You have heard from the leader. I was part of the delegation to Kenya. What I saw in Kenya is really something to actually talk about here in Nigeria. Some people will say this is Nigeria, this is not Kenya. Kenya started like Nigeria, and now Kenya has gone ahead. In Kenya, the system they adopt, I don't think in the next 5 years in Nigeria that we can be able to adopt it, because in Kenya, even parties have slots in the National Assembly, meaning that it has become a non-partisan National Assembly, where parties will also bring one woman each, and they brought total sum of, they have 6 strong parties. Each of the parties was able to produce a female candidate for a special bill, a special seat. So if you see the number of women in Kenya, you will like it. And one interesting thing I discovered in Kenya is that the women in the assembly, they don't apply makeup at all. Not even earring, they don't put. All of them are there. You will see them natural, but very tough. So we were able to interact with them. We also got some ideas that we want to apply. As my leader rightly said, we are going to adopt some methods of sensitizing the men in the National Assembly, in the chamber. Because this bill, as we are talking about this bill, this bill will never pass if we don't sensitize the gentlemen in the chamber. Because the bill starts from the chamber. If it doesn't work in the chamber, it will fail woefully as it has failed. And this is the last time we have to have this bill passed. If it doesn't pass this time around, I don't think it will ever come back again. So it's not the bringing out women or whoever is here to sit with us here. No, the issue is we want to plead with men, because this time around, we're not going to go confrontational, no. What we will do is to plead with them, beg them to see reason, to know that they have children, they will have female children that may be interested in coming to the National Assembly. They will also have reason to think that some of their grandchildren will also come to National Assembly. So let them please see reasons. They should look beyond their thinking, so that they will allow for this bill to pass. We are not doing it for ourselves. Ours is gone. Let's look at those that will come behind us. And another thing that I have realized, there is no issue of religion in this coming to the National Assembly. There is none, as far as I'm concerned, no religion. Because this is myself, Honorable Fatima Talba from Yobe. This is Honorable Khadija Bukar Abba, she's from Yobe. 2 of us came from Yobe. Yobe is a Sharia state. So tell me, where is religion? There is no religion. It's just a question of sensitizing the people around you and also work together with the government of the day in the state, and also ensure that you have a cordial relationship with those people that have something to put to you or something to say to help you come to the National Assembly. My only problem in the National Assembly now, as I'm telling you, is that if this bill goes out of the National Assembly and it gets passed, it will go to the state assemblies. All the state assemblies we must also get 2/3 from the state assemblies of Nigeria before this bill will now come for public hearing and finally be adopted as a document. Therefore, we have a lot to do. Help us sensitize. This seat has nothing to do with the present setting. I'm coming from a state where we have 6 legislators. These six seats, nothing will tamper with that seat. This one is an additional reserved seat for women only. If there is anybody that will contest with that, it's going to be a woman, not a man. Therefore, this seat is a special seat. You sitting here can be one of us in the next election by the grace of God, if you so wish. Go to your town, contest, go to your leaders, talk to them, you also want to contest. And as my leader said, the party has a role to play. Because if they only cherish a woman leader in the party, and no more, not even treasurer, they will not give it to the treasurer, they will not give it to a woman. They will keep the treasurer, they will keep the good side of everything, and give the woman leader to the woman for her to go and be battling with her women folk, which is sad. Thank you, sir. So, but finally, what I want to do is to beg our men in the chamber to please help us, to please play with us, assist us, and ensure that this bill passes at all levels. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Sandra. I think what you was explaining about the Kenyan example, they have certain numbers of women that must come into parliament. Before the election, all parties submit equal numbers to the Electoral Commission of women. They call it top-up. So if after the election, there are 5 seats less for women, they go to the list the parties have submitted in order of priority, depending on their strength in parliament after the election. So that way, they always have the same number, and the parties, it doesn't require majority party, what we call majority party may have 2 of the 5 and 1 to the other parties as they performed in the election. Let me call Honorable Blessing.
Thank you, our dear leader, the fellow discussants, our leaders in the House of Representatives. Women, oh yeah! Women, oh yeah! Thank you very much for the organizers. My sister, Eugene Abu, she's doing very well. She's a woman. I am very, very glad to be here today because when we are talking about girl child, we can't go and compete with the men. Some of our women folks, they cause the problem. They are so shy. When they attend political party meetings, they don't make any contribution. They don't see them as having the capacity to compete with their fellow men. That is the main problem we're having in Nigeria. The women, please sit up. If they are contributing any sum of money for the party, go and borrow and contribute, make yourself relevant. Tell them that you can do what they are doing too. You are human beings. And when I want to talk about women in politics, gender issues, I don't talk of equality. I talk of women inclusion. Because if we say equality, we cannot get it because of what we have suffered over the years. And in Rivers State, I want to correct the impression now that we have 6 women in the House of Assembly. We are 2 in the House of Representatives, and we have a senator. Women in Rivers State, women in politics in Rivers State. So, please, I'm correcting that. So, yes, I want to say that our men in the House, they are our friends. Whatever we tell them, I wouldn't say they obey them, but they work with us, they partner with us. The day this bill passed the reading in the House, the second reading in the House, only very few women were there. The women legislators too, they are not serious. When they want to discuss women or gender-related issues, they should be there. That is the problem. Yes, I'm saying it because I have been attending all of them. But I want to encourage women and to plead with our men to support us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your frank contribution. Now let me go to Honorable Khadija.
The Speaker of the House, ably represented by the leader. First of all, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our leader in the 10th Assembly, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, GCON, Ian Zozo, for initiating and giving the opportunity for this bill to come even to the floor of the House. I have been through 5 House of Representatives constitutional reviews, and I can assure you that this is the best. This is the furthest we have come through. And with all hope and God's guidance, we are going to succeed this time around. But, there's always a but. The inclusiveness of women should not be seen as a threat to men. We should be seen as partners in progress. We're not threatening to take away their positions. We're trying to work hand in hand with them. Today, in the global best practice, you'll find that women are presidents of nations. And without women, some countries don't even accept to do business with other countries. So women inclusiveness in politics and with special seats for women in the House of Representatives or in the Parliament is of absolute importance. But then I have to caution our women. We have to be our brothers' keepers. We must forget about bringing down syndrome. We have to repair our own house till the men respect us the most. So, what I'm basically trying to imply is that sometimes when a woman comes, for example, when Sarah Jibril wanted to contest election, I think her vote was the only vote that was cast, and that was the only one that sufficed. Now we've come further than this. We have really come far. With this public hearing, like I've said, we've never come as far as we have this time around. And nobody is willing to listen to us in the outside world, without voices of women. Women are our mothers, women are our children, and at the end of the day, we depend on them for so many decision making and other things. So I'd like to appeal to you here today to please, not only the women, because the majority of the hall is filled with women. I'm expecting the he for she's to also participate in the public hearings, in the Constitutional Review Committee hearings, so that the women of Nigeria can get not more than 2% that we've had since independence, which is quite a shame. Nigeria is a progressing country, and it should show that it is a progressing country by including women in its work. Thank you very much, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for your comment. Let me go straight away to my sister, the PDP woman leader. But quickly, I'm also told to announce there is a missing laptop and a found phone. If you've lost your phone, or you found a laptop, or you took it in error, please contact the director. Controller, director of ceremony.
So after the Beijing conference, a lot of us have wondered why we have not actualized our 35% affirmative action. When you look at our party's constitution, when you look at the Electoral Act, when you look at our party's manifestos, the gender bill is neutral. It's not specific. And that's why you wonder why we have not been able to actualize the 35%. It doesn't tell you how we can actualize it. And so it is gender neutral. This conversation has come at a very good time. We couldn't have had it at a better time. When the Deputy National Woman Leader of APC was reeling out the statistics, I'm sure you may not have understood what she was saying. When it comes to the global conversation, Nigerian women are nowhere to be found. When you come to the African Parliament, we are not on the chart. That is how sad this situation is. And so we having this conversation, and why other climes have had it right is because the government have been intentional. They have been deliberate. And that's exactly what we are doing here today. And we are hoping that this bill will pass so that we can have women sitting at the table talking about things that affect us as women. Now, when you look at the statistics that have been rolled out, of course, from the National Assembly to the States Assemblies, to all the states that don't even have women sitting at the table, you know that this is a serious conversation. And I'm hoping that at the end of the day, we will come out with this bill so that we can have more women seated at the table. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This is better now. Thank you for your direct and brief contribution. Let me clarify something. Unlike in the past, one of the mistakes that was made in the Ninth House, we finished the work and dumped it on the states. The document was new to them, and they subverted what we. But this time, the method, we're carrying the state assemblies along with us. In fact, the chairman of the State Conference of State Assembly Speakers is a full-time member, is a full member of the House of Reps Constitution Review Committee. We also have taken the time to visit some of their own meetings, their zonal meeting of speakers and state houses, to interact with them. And we're also carrying along the Governors Forum. And like I said, at the end of this panel, I will read out the centers for the next zonal meetings of the committee, where it will be thrown open in town halls. I will also read out the venues, so that please mobilize your people to be there. Now let me call on the representative of the Minister of Women Affairs.
Thank you very much, the representative of the Honorable Speaker, who is the leader of the House, distinguished members, honorable members of the House of Representatives, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. This is a serious business. Women representation is a serious business. You can't have more than half of the population of this nation not represented on the table where decisions are being made. Who talks for them? Who speaks for them? Do you have a man who menstruates? No. Who speaks when it comes to environmental planning? Who speaks when they come to plan for buildings and how to locate toilets? Because women are vulnerable and always use the toilet. Who speaks? It has to be the she. So this business can never be overemphasized. First of all, I would like us to work closely with the political parties. Every member of the House of the Representatives, every member of the Senate, every member of the State House belongs to either one political party or the other. So when we work with the political parties will charge their members to support any bill that the political party supports. So we have to go back to our various homes and work with the political parties. We have IPAC, which is the body of all political parties in Nigeria. And IPAC has a Directorate of Women Affairs. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I head that directorate. We are working, the Ministry of Women Affairs, that's the Honorable Minister, has charged the Directorate of Women Affairs in IPAC to work closely with the leadership of political parties. We have, with the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs, paid courtesy call and advocacy call to about 7 out of the political parties we have, and that continues. Because when we have the political parties speak to their members, this bill will easily pass. My dear sisters and brothers, we have to be she for she's. We have always been mentioning he for she, but are the women ready for the women? That idea of she for she must be activated. And the Honorable Minister of Women Affairs is about to roll out a program which is she for she, where women support women. We have the highest number of voting population in this country. And if a woman supports a woman, there's no way a man can beat a woman when it comes to election. Election is a matter of numbers. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we also need to lobby more. We shouldn't be confrontational. You can't achieve much in politics when you do activism. Let's allow the political activists do their activism while we, as politicians, lobby our men to see us as partners in progress, to see us as their sisters, to see us as people they need to achieve economic development. Because you cannot develop a country when you ignore about 50% of its population. It's not possible. So we are not rivals. We are not contesting your seats. We just want to bridge that gap. We just want a little bit of fairness to up the women's participation in the national and state assemblies. And as we do that, we have to build our capacities as women. We have to be ready. We have to be serious so that they don't see us fielding incapable women. We have to know what it means, and we have to get there to deliver so that we will encourage the men to always support us. Okay, thank you, Mr. Moderator. I have lots and lots and lots to roll out, but I will give you the mic now.
Thank you.
And it's been 2 hours of stimulating conversations on this year's edition of the House of Representatives Legislative Open Week, brought to you by the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center. And we must exit this broadcast now and take you this time down south to Owerri, the Imo State capital, for a broadcast of another event. Curiously, with a gender slant, it's the Women and Youth Conference taking place at the Landmark Event Center and is brought to you by the Niger Delta Development Commission. Stay on with Channels Television.
This is a live Channels Television event.
A round of applause for him. Chief Samuel Obuku, PhD.